Hello guys, good day and welcome to Archinews. I'm Architect Chocho. Kamakailan ay umani ng mga puna at pambabati ko sa social media ang nag-viral at naging sentro ng kontrobersyal na proyekto ng MMDA na isang busway sa EDSA, PhilAm, Quezon City, na kung saan ay napuna ang matarik na slope ng rampa na para sana sa mga PWD or persons with disability. Now, ayon naman sa MMDA, ginawa ang proyekto para sa mga senior citizens, buntis, at may mga kapansanan. Dahil dito, marami ang nagtatanong, bakit naging matarik ang rampa kung dumaan ito sa tamang disenyo ng rampa na para magamit ng persons with disability or PWD? Now, since the concern is about the issue of the constructed steep ramp, let's revisit the design standard under BP 344, particularly the ramp for the PWD in order to let them access the ramp through the use of the wheelchair. Now, on this illustration, I will show you the design standard of the ramp under BP 344. So what is BP 344? The law to enhance the mobility of disabled persons, or Batas Pambansa bilang 344, an act to enhance the mobility of disabled persons by requiring certain buildings, installations, establishments, and public utilities to install facilities and other devices. When it comes to designing of public places for the mobility of our disabled persons, we have design parameters for this particular accessibility of the PWD in the public places and also in our establishment under the provision of BP 344 or Batas Pambansa bilang 344, commonly known as the law to enhance the mobility of disabled persons that were approved and take effect since February 25, 1983. The implementing law is 41 years now, so to speak, of this July of 2024. Now here are the 6 ramp design parameters when designing a ramp under BP 344. Number 1, changes in level require a ramp except when served by a drop curb, an elevator, or other mechanical device. Number 2, the ramp shall have a minimum clear width of 1.20 meters. Then number 3, the maximum gradient shall be 1:12. Number 4, the length of ramp should not exceed 6 meters. If the gradient is 1:12, longer ramps whose gradient is 1:12 shall be provided with landings not less than 1.5 meters. And number 5, a level area of not less than 1.80 meters should be provided at the top and bottom of any ramp. And lastly, number 6, handrails will be provided on both sides of the ramp at 0.70 meter and 0.90 meter from the ramp level. So that is the 6 ramp design parameters under the provision of BP 344. Now let's interpret these ramp design parameters based on the illustrations that I will show you. Alright guys, so this is the illustration of the PWD ramp under the provision of BP 344. So like what I mentioned earlier, that there are 6 ramps design parameters for this particular ramp for the PWD. So first, or the number 1, is that changes in level require a ramp except when served by a drop curb, an elevator, or other mechanical devices. Now number 2 is that ramp shall have a minimum clear width of 1.2 meter. So under this illustration, we have here the clear width of 1.2 meters. So this is the width of the ramp, the 1.2 meter. So this is the minimum. So you can go beyond the 1.2 meter. Now this is the level area. Now, this is the clear ramp clearance for the width of 1.2 meters. Now number 3, it says, the maximum gradient shall be 1:12. So here we go. This is the 1:12 or the maximum gradient. So the gradient is the inclination of the ramp or the steepness of the ramp, as you see here in this illustration. Now, how we interpret the 1:12? So the 1 stands for 1 inch. So that is the rise. So the 12 is 12 inches. So that is the length. Now it says that for every length of 12 inches of the ramp, say you have the 12 inches here, now you have the rise of 1 inch. So like this, you have the 12 inches. Now you have the rise of 1 inch. So it adds on how many inches you will put in your ramp. For example, you have here the 12 inches, another 12, another 12, another 12. So you have 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. Now your ramp will be, the rise of the ramp will be 4 inches. So here you have the 12, 12, so 24. So you have the 48 inches length of the ramp. So you have the rise of 4 inches. So that is the interpretation of 1:12. Okay guys, let's get the ramp inclination by two methods, by degree and by percentage. Given the value of the ramp of length of 6,000 millimeter. Now let's convert this 6,000 millimeter into meters. So it will be 6 meter. Now 6 meter converted to inches, it will be 236.22 inches. So that will be the length of the ramp in inches. Now let's compute for the height of the ramp and ramp inclination by degree. First, we have to find the value of the right angle. So this is the inclination of the ramp. So we have here the right angle. So this is the opposite side. This is the adjacent side. So we are looking for the degree of the inclination. Now, on the adjacent side, we already have the value of 236.22 inches. Now, we are looking for the height of the opposite side, which is the rise. So this will be you're looking for the height of this ramp. Now, to get the value of the height of the ramp, using 1:12 gradient, which is the maximum gradient. So we have here the value of 236.22 inches, which is the length of the ramp, over 12, which is 1:12. So this one is 12 inches. Now the total will be 19.685 inches. So that is closer to almost 20 inches. But we were using this value, the 19.685, to get the exact percentage of the ramp inclination. Now, using this formula, tangent theta equal to the value of 19.685 inches over 236.22 inches. So theta equal to tangent 19.685 over 236.22 inches. Now I already calculated in my scientific calculator. The total will be theta is equal to 4.76 degree. Now we can round it off to 4.8 degree slope. So we're looking for this inclination. So the inclination will be 4.8 degree. So 4.8 degree based on the requirements for the maximum gradient under BP 344. Now the 4.8 degree inclination is the right inclination in order to be an effective and accessible ramp for the PWD under BP 344. Alright guys, now let's move on to the next method of calculating by percentage. Now, given the illustration and the value of the ramp length and height, so we already have the value of the length of the ramp by inches. It's 236.22. We already have also the rise. The value is 19.685. Now, we will get the percentage of slope of the ramp. So we have here the formula, slope equal to 19, the rise 685 inches over 236.22 inches equal to 0.083 by 100. So we have here the total of 8.3%. So that is the ramp inclination by percentage. So that is 8.3% inclination. Alright, let's move on to the ramp design number 4. It says that the length of the ramp should not exceed 6 meters. So we already discussed that the length of the ramp is 6 meters. Now, according to the code, longer ramps whose gradient is 1:12 shall be provided with landings not less than 1.5 meters. Now, after traversing the length of the ramp of 6 meters, there will be a landing. So that's what we call an intermediate landing. So the length of the landing is 1.5 meters. So that is the minimum length of the landing. So this is the area of the landing with the length of 1.5 meters. Now, what is the purpose of the landing? Now, after the PWD traversing the ramp using their wheelchair, there will be an area or stop where they can relax and take some rest here after a long way of 6 meter traversing the ramp. So they can have some time here to just regain another energy to traverse another ramp going to the level area. So that is the purpose of the intermediate landing. Now for the ramp design number 5, it says that a level area not less than 1.8 meter should be provided at the top and bottom of any ramp. Now using again this illustration, we have here the bottom. So this is the bottom level of the ramp. Then this is the top level of the ramp. So when the disabled person traversing the ramp, so you have here the level area, traversing here, then we have the intermediate landing as we discussed it lately. Then also another series of ramps, then going to the level area. According to the code, it should have a maximum length of level area of 1.8 meter. So this is the maximum here. So this is the top level area of the landing. Now this is the bottom level area of the landing. So it has also a 1.8 meter level area. So that is the provision for the item number 5 for the ramp design parameters. Now, moving on to the last but not least, ramp design parameters in item 6, it says that handrails will be provided on both sides of the ramp at 0.70 meter and 0.90 meter from the ramp level. Now, using again this illustration, so you can see here that there's 2 handrails here. So one, the much more higher, and one is the much more lower handrail. The height of this ramp from the level of the ramp is that handrails on both sides at 0.90 meter and 0.70 meter high from the ramp or from the finished ramp landing level. So you have here the finished ramp. So that is the finished flooring of the ramp. So the measurement is from the finished ramp up to the first railing is 0.70 meter. Now the next one, the much more higher railing is 0.90 meter. So you have here the 2 railing, the lower one and the higher railing. So this serves as protection for our PWD traversing this ramp, and also guide while maneuvering their wheelchair over the ramp. And also another one, this newel post vertically, it serves also as guide not only for the PWD using the wheelchair but also for the PWD who are blind. So they, by the use of their crutches, they can tap on both sides of this vertical newel post for them to know that they are inside the ramp. So this will be a great help for the person with disability, especially the blind, as their guide. So it will prevent accident while traversing the ramp. Alright guys, that will be the number 6, the last but not least design parameters for the design of the PWD ramp under the provision of Batas Pambansa bilang 344 or BP 344, the law to enhance mobility of disabled persons.